How's Australia's Next Top Model going?
Yeah, going really, really well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. We've had a whole year off, so I've missed it desperately.
Yeah.
And it's, we've got a really diverse group of girls, a nice group of girls, and I think they've also got really huge potential as models. And I mean, that's the most important thing to us. We obviously like to have an entertaining show, but we also want to produce really great models because it makes us feel smug when we see them on the catwalks in Paris.
Very true. Yeah. And you've been, this is your 5th season? You've been there since the start?
Sixth
season.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
this must be the weirdest thing for you to sit here while Charlotte.
Maybe, I don't know.
Extensions. You probably
That's a great intro though.
Yeah, she sits there brushing her fake hair in preparation for a big night.
Yeah. So how's the transition been over the 6 seasons?
Well, look, it's been really interesting, obviously, because it's pretty much been a new host every single year, except, Sarah was there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I suppose Alex and I are the stalwarts, if you like.
Yeah.
I sort of compare us to, who are those old men in the Muppets?
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, that's us on the panel. That's who we are. We're the
Yeah.
grumpy old two that argue all the time.
Yeah.
So that's the consistency, I suppose. You can always rely on us to be having a snap at each other.
And so how's it being as the stalwarts with the youngsters Didier and Jen coming in?
And Jen, great. Yeah. Well, look, Jen's the ultimate professional. She's incredibly polished. I've got to say nothing about her because she just sent me the most beautiful pair of her shoes.
Oh, fantastic.
She did. But she's brilliant, and everybody relates to Jen. An older generation, a younger generation. She's, she represents the goddess next door, which is the girl who was, a cheerleader, who became Miss Universe, who carved out a multi-million-dollar career, not only of modelling, but she's got her own swimwear line, the shoe line, the vitamin thing. She's got, she is, she's just, and a property development company, so this girl's hugely inspiring for critics of the show that say, it's just a show about people valuing people on their looks. Jennifer is a very good example of somebody that's, started from her looks, but created an extraordinary success out of that. And it's a legitimate business where you can make a lot of money.
I think all 4 of you there, you've all got so many strings to each of your bows that you're just such a diverse group that can almost take on anything, really.
Yeah, well,
possibly.
I was the failed model. I was the one that I had the opportunities that those girls have had.
Yeah.
I did it on my own at 16, travelled the world and tried to crack it and did stupid things like ate too much pizza and got too fat, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I did it the wrong way. So, I was sort of like, oh, you girls, if only you'd done this, if only you do that, you'll be fine. And luckily they listened to me, and I'm the one that I continue to mentor them after the series is finished as well.
Yeah, well,
one of them saved my life the other day.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
Simone Hot Snuggle came. She's one who I keep very close to, and when she comes up from Wollongong, she comes and stays with me. And we jumped out of bed on Saturday morning. I jumped in the shower, I heard her squeal, and she found a rather large white-tailed spider in my bed.
In your bed?
In my bed!
Oh, that's the fear.
And caught it. So imagine that thing had bitten me on the face. I'd have no television career left.
Yeah. And you juggle a number of roles in media on different platforms. You've got subscription TV, free-to-air TV, columnist, anything else that I've read in your bio today as well.
I've just got a new role as well. So.
Yeah. How do you juggle that?
I manage it as best as I can. I'm somebody that needs to be incredibly busy. I mean, obviously Foxtel is my my number one priority, but it's not a day-to-day office job. It's when we're in production, when we're, they call upon me, or when we do launches, they call upon me. So last year when we didn't have the show on, to keep myself busy, so I wrote a book, and then I did Celebrity Apprentice, so I did some free-to-air stuff as well. They allowed me to do that. And this year, after Top Model goes off air, anticipating probably, it's slowing down a little bit more. I've just taken on a role as marketing and PR at a real estate agency.
Okay,
so, it's something quite different and out of the spotlight, which is good. It means I'm behind the scenes, but it still keeps me busy. Yeah,
and the group of models that you've got on this season, I know you're a long way through finished filming.
Yeah.
How have they stacked up to previous seasons?
Completely different, I think, because we really wanted to go, because we got a new agency, IMG International, and for the first time ever, like the head of IMG New York and IMG Paris, they flew over for the audition process.
Okay.
And so they know exactly what's happening in the market.
Yeah.
And most of the girls they were looking at, I'm like, dude, that girl's like 13. And they're like, yeah, but she's really, that's really, what's going on right now. And I'm like, no, 16's our minimum. We're different here in Australia.
Yeah.
We want to promote healthy image. We want to be responsible, blah, blah, blah. But as a result of them being involved, the diversity of this group is so much different than previous years.
Yeah. And for you personally, were you able to pick out early on who might go far, without giving spoilers away, obviously, who might go far in the series?
It was difficult in the beginning because you never know when you've got really raw talent, people who've never modelled before, if they're going to translate. But it became apparent about halfway through the season, as it always seems to, who's going to be the forerunners. Yeah.
Yeah. And because I watched a couple episodes in preparation for these interviews, there was a lot of screaming and a lot of OMGs and a lot of tears often, which will happen with 16-year-old girls. Do you see them grow into more professional models through the series?
Yeah, but none of them have really been unprofessional. We had one incident which we will address when that happens, but apart from that, they all were incredibly professional, and it's really hard too because the actual television side of things is incredibly stressful for them, being surrounded by all these strange people 24/7, trying to capture their most vulnerable moments. And they're only young, so...
They're often, they're 16, you're still in high school, and it's a completely different world going to shopping in the mall in Bendigo to going to TV in Sydney. Yeah, I spoke to one of the girls the other day and they said, I just went back to school, and everyone's kind of like, oh my God, we just realised what you've been doing for us. We had one a few years ago who's from Echuca, who was about an hour away from Bendigo, and we followed her through the series, and she said it was amazing when she went back to school that people know what she's been away for.
Yeah.
The episode I watched on Wednesday was the girl coming back from appendicitis.
Oh yeah, little Ash.
Yeah. She's 16, wasn't she? How was that? Does the modelling industry, is that just what you just get on with it once you're out of hospital and right to go? Or
I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just do it.
Yeah.
It's the booking's there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you snooze, you lose.
Well, because as working in an office job myself, if I'm in hospital, they'll give me 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
To recuperate and make sure I'm 100% right.
Yeah, it doesn't work quite like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had situations like that where, and actually I've had overseas trips where I was not well enough to go and I ended up in hospital again. Yeah. But I managed to get myself out of hospital, get the job done, then fly back to Australia.
Yeah. Because for the people that do criticise these modelling shows, the professionalism is there. That if you've got to be in front of the camera, you get in front of the camera. And there's a lot of people that work jobs that are nowhere near as stressful as what a modelling shoot could be. Yeah.
You've also got to remember that the modelling industry, and I've been in it for, I'm 47 and I started when I was 16, it's an industry that it smashes your self-esteem straight away because 98% of it is being rejected.
Yeah.
So every time you present yourself to a casting, people aren't going to sit there and go, oh, you're so pretty, thanks for coming. Yeah. They're going to sit there and they're going to go, your eye's not right, they're not the right colour, your hair's not right, you know what I mean? It's going to be a critique every time. So it's a real self-esteem smasher. And I watched a great film the other day called About Face, and they interviewed all the old supermodels like Paulina Proskova and Carmen Della Affice, and these are women who are in their 50s now, and they got them all together again for this amazing shoot. And especially Paulina Proskova, she said, and there was shots of her back when she was 25. She's one of the most beautiful supermodels I remember. And she's like, if only, she goes, I was so self-critical and so insecure back then. If only, when I look back at the pictures of me now, I'm thinking, damn, I should have been so proud of myself. And she goes, and I'm 50 now, and I'm thinking, when I'm 70, I'm going to look back and go, damn, but it taught me that industry to really just be so insecure about the way I look. And these are the most beautiful, apparently, looking women in the world, you know.